What is going on, you all? Welcome back to another monthly skating video where I record all of my progress from where I started to wherever I end up. What you're going to see in this video is all of the footage that I collected over my second month of getting back into skateboarding after taking 5 to 8 years off. And if you watched the last video, you already know that I'm almost 29 years old, so getting back into skateboarding has been a lot different than it was whenever I was a kid and when I was in my late teens getting back into it. But just as a reminder, you are never too old to get back into skateboarding. The only thing you might have to do is just adjust your approach a little bit. And what I mean by that is just things like taking extra precautions, taking extra time to heal, and just having a little more patience whenever it comes to trying new tricks or just picking up new things. But that is perfectly okay, because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get out there, get some exercise, and have some fun, right? But that's all I'll say about that. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and slide over to the first video of my second month of getting back into skating. Today marks the pretty much 1 month since I've started skating again. Not really sure what to say about it. I've pretty much been coming up to the Southside skate park every Saturday. I'll skate for about 4 hours or so. Definitely feel like I've improved a lot. I mean, the first week or so, I was just trying to work on my balance, but I do feel a lot more comfortable, like going up and down the ramps. Like I could already do stuff that I couldn't do before just by having access to a nice skate park. Some of the next things I want to start working on is like kick flips, heel flips, rail slides. Like I still haven't done those yet. I still don't really know what I'm gonna do with all the content that I've recorded. Like I've already recorded and edited up a lot of stuff, but I don't really know what to use or what to do with it. So I might just throw it all together and chop it up and see what happens with the video, but I don't really have a set plan yet. But yeah, I think that's about all I can say. So I'm gonna get out there, start skating, and see if I can get some more shots.
Hey, that's nice to know that I actually figured out what to do with these clips. I remember this is whenever I started feeling a lot more comfortable on the board, started getting out of my comfort zone more, trying new tricks. I was starting to get a lot more comfortable actually setting up a camera with people there and stuff too. Overall balance was still improving. Ollies were looking a lot better. And then I was starting to try to ollie off of like sloped areas, adding some variation to the stuff. Oh my gosh, and we're back to the box trick. This is whenever I started feeling a lot more consistent on getting those. I was landing them pretty often. Wouldn't say I could get it 100% of the time, but definitely got the timing down, the height of the box, everything like that felt a lot better. I got some new tricks here. Started going over that little platform area, starting to get the feel of rolling directly off of that. I really should have had my elbow and knee pads on for that because I ended up eating it pretty hard in one of these upcoming clips. If you're trying anything like that, you just have to be really careful that your back wheel doesn't get hung up when you're going down. So I ended up falling on my wrist pretty hard. Thankfully, I had my wrist braces on, but it ended up cracking one of the plastic pieces inside of it. I actually threw out those wrist braces after that and upgraded to a different style that has more padding. And we had a little ollie off the 2 stairs, which immediately goes into that slope. Oh my gosh. Got a little too confident on this one, cooked myself up a little bit, but it was all good. Yeah, I mean, that one did hurt pretty bad, I will say. Third time I've ate shit today. So, try to go again. But yeah, did it a couple more times after that. Got more comfortable with it, and then, you know, it's kind of out of the way.
Oh, man. Everything is hurting. My wrists, this is swollen. And I talked all that game about all the pads. Then I didn't wear my knee pads or my elbow pads. Ended up with one of those. Yeah, I do not feel good right now. So that brings me to another point that Epsom salt and ice is like my best friend whenever I get done skating. Having those 2 combinations helps with soreness and inflammation, so I definitely recommend that. And I'm like so aggravated that my camera only does 10-minute intervals, so I have to go every 10 minutes and press play. I have to hit record is what you do to record videos. So I've got to press record each time, and then what it wants to do is overheat, and it pisses me off so bad because I'll land something and I'll be like, oh, finally got that on video, and I go and it's not even recording. Anyways, what are we talking about? Talking about how hot it is in the camera. But we're improving. A lot of it's just a mental game. Like I ate shit and then I still went for it. Good day at the skate park. Today, I don't really have like a set objective. I wanted to work on some flat ground stuff today, which takes a lot of effort, a lot of like jumping motion back to back. And then I know it's gonna be frustrating because I haven't worked on flat ground tricks in so long. I've kept in mind, like if it's busy, there's like this basketball court over there that nobody really goes to. So I figured I could use that flat concrete, but it's definitely too busy to go over there and start recording and getting everybody's way over there. I'm procrastinating. Go out here and let's do this shit.
Just doing some flat ground tricks at this little basketball court. I actually really like this area because it's nice, smooth, flat. It's kind of in its own little area, so I have a peace of mind to just focus on what I need to. So in this video, I was completely new to pop shove-its. didn't Google any tutorials or anything like that. When my buddy was here the other weekend, we were skating around a little bit, and he was just now getting back into skateboarding as well. And we were both just kind of playing around with pop shove-its. Like, he used to know how to do them really well, but like me, he took a lot of time off and kind of forgot how to do them over the years, so we were just both kind of practicing around on them. But for me, in this video here, was actually my first time trying them, and I didn't really understand the concept of what foot to push off of or like how to get that rotation out of the board. And the biggest thing that I was trying to instinctively do was fling the board with my front foot and try to like shift the board around with both feet, versus the easier way to learn it, in my opinion, is getting all of that motion out of your back foot and flicking the board around, mainly with that. So now looking back, I wish I would have started out standing stationary and just flicking the board with my back foot and just trying to understand that rotation. And honestly, just looking up YouTube tutorials. I'll link some other YouTubers in the comments that really helped me understand the concept of it better after I actually went back and looked at it. They do a really good job at telling you where to put your feet, where to rotate, and how to do certain things, which makes it a little easier than just going out there blindly. So I would definitely recommend checking them out. All in all though, I can say that my first attempts didn't look too bad without having any prior knowledge of it. And if you're trying to find somewhere good to do flat ground tricks and you don't like your driveway and you don't want to be around a busy skate park, is if you can't find an empty basketball court like this, you can try to find a tennis court or an abandoned parking lot. Just keep in mind to be respectful of the people that would actually want to use those areas for what they're designed for. And the downside about tennis courts is usually they have a little bit of grit in the paint, so that can tear your board up a lot quicker. Which is why I recommend, if you can do a skate park or a smooth concrete area, I would definitely go that route. All right, let me go over here actually, because I'm looking like a fucking weirdo. Look at this dude, he freaking sucks. And he's vlogging. He shouldn't be vlogging, he should be worried about getting better skateboarding skills, bro. Shut up. Here we go. So, ended up having a pretty rewarding day skating. I did get some 180 ollies of some sort today for the first time, so that was pretty cool as well. They actually felt more comfortable than a pop shove it or even a shove it. So then I started trying them on sloped areas. I was actually getting them on the sloped area as well. And then I did get some new wrist braces. They're in the trunk. They have more of like an impact resistance versus like a bending resistance. So all in all, today was not what I expected. I expected to go out there and just get super frustrated, low motivation. But yeah, as soon as I got out there, got close to landing the tricks, landed them a couple times, just trying new stuff that I didn't even have in mind. It's just super cool. But yeah, I think that's it for today. We'll see you next time. For this footage here, it looks like we're back at the basketball court. Again, I really like this area. It's secluded. I can do my own thing in my own area. Nobody really bothers me. And if the skate park's crowded, I really don't want to set up my camera and get in everybody's way. I spent a long time up here this day, so I don't know if I'll show all the footage. But the whole time I was just working on ollies, 180 ollies, pop shove-its, trying to get the feel for kickflips, because I used to be able to do kickflips when I was growing up. I'm getting really close to being able to do them while I'm rolling, but you know, that's just something that's going to come with time. And I think another thing that made me struggle really bad on my pop shove-its was that I was losing a lot of tail in my board, so I wasn't getting enough pop, because as soon as I got a new deck, my pop shove-its felt a lot better and I was landing them a lot more consistently. So just something to keep in mind if you're struggling on pop shove-its like I was. Overall, I landed a couple pop shove-its, felt pretty good about that. And a perspective that I really like whenever you're learning tricks and you're consistently trying them over and over, especially if you learn one and you land it a couple times and then you come back to it next week and you can't land it that day, or you're really struggling with it, is that I think it's a really healthy perspective to think of it as trying to improve your worst day. And what I mean by that is, if you're having a bad day, you have low energy, low motivation, and you get out there and you start skating, what do your worst tricks look like? And the more you try it in that mindset, or when you're tired, or just general practice, for me, it's easier to stay in a positive mindset whenever I'm trying to improve my worst tricks on those worst days. What do my worst attempts look like? How often do I not land that trick on my worst day? And the more that I practice, the better my worst days are gonna look. But then on the flip side of that, you're gonna have those days where you go out and you learn 5 new tricks in one day, or like everything you try just feels a lot smoother. You land stuff a lot easier, and it's just like overall good morale days. So you'll have some of those too. But I think keeping a realistic perspective is healthy, just understanding that you're not gonna have those days every day, and some days are gonna be harder than others. So today we worked more on our pop shove-its and kick flips and 180 ollies. Still halfway getting them, halfway failing, but still got to record all the shit that I learned last weekend at the actual park itself. Yeah, I might start doing that on weekdays, just doing flat shit. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that's it for today. All right, next up we have some simple footage of a wheel replacement. So I actually ordered a new deck, new wheels, new trucks, bearings, all that good stuff. I was still waiting on my deck to come in the mail, so you don't see that in this video. And I'm actually super disappointed because I recorded myself swapping out my deck and I lost that video footage by accident, so that sucked. But I ended up with the Formula 4 radial skateboard wheels. I got the 99D and the 54 millimeters. I got the Spitfire cheap shot bearings, and then just some independent trucks. The main thing there is just making sure that the axle width fits your board width. I really didn't put too much thought into it. And the stuff that I ended up with, I still really like. So I feel like it's kind of hard to go wrong when you're ordering from a brand that has a good reputation. The only thing I would say there is just do a little bit of research on wheels and just see what makes the most sense for you. What I will do is link some stuff in the description to help you all decide on what wheels you want, or at least figure out what direction you need to do more research in. And since I don't have any footage of me swapping out my deck, I will say that I got a CCS custom board made. I put my NoizProof logo on it and it turned out really well. The only thing that I will say about the CCS board is that the board I got wasn't painted on. I think they do vinyl application on it. So as soon as I started doing rail slides, it rubbed off really quick and it flaked off in like a plasticky vinyl material. So if you're looking for like a wall mounted skateboard, I would definitely recommend it. There still may be better options out there, I'm not sure. But if you're wanting to preserve the bottom of your skateboard, I would get those little strips that you can put on your board to add a little spacer on it if you're going to be doing rail slides or anything like that. Now, if any of y'all that are watching this video do have some products that you recommend, go ahead and throw them in the comments. Tell us what you use them for. Tell them why you like them. And maybe I'll even try them out myself next time. All right, what's up? It's like 8 a.m. Just made it to the skate park. There's only a couple people here, so that's good. I'm gonna try to get some shots today. The pop shove-its, the 180 ollies, and probably do some kickflip attempts while I'm rolling. But yeah, the main thing I wanted to kind of focus on is like the key differences from like a fresh mindset. Like you just now woke up, you're fresh, you're at the peak energy of your day, or like whatever time of the day that is for you specifically. But for me, it's like whenever I first wake up, I get going, and then I'm at like my peak efficiency and like skill level, I guess. So yeah, let's roll into it. Looks like we are back at the sanctuary. Oh, and you just gotta love whenever you try to land a trick and your board just goes full send in the opposite direction. And that's why even whenever I'm doing tricks like this on flat ground, I like to wear my wrist braces in case I just need to catch myself or fall the wrong way. It really goes a long way in helping out my wrists. I'll probably speed up or cut out a lot of this repetitive pop shove it and ollie stuff. You guys get the point. But during this same day, this was kind of my warm-up. I ended up checking out another skate park, so I will hand it off to my past vlog self to give that description. Not the best day of skating. Yeah, I didn't land one single trick. At least my worst attempts look less bad than my worst attempts the other day. So yeah, let's go check out this other skate park. All right, so just pulled up to the other skate park that's the closest one to that bigger one that I just came from, and there is actually 0 people here. Like that's actually mind-blowing because this is usually pretty packed. So maybe this will be the move in the morning if it's actually this chill. Yeah, I'll get some shots of like what the park looks like and then just do my thing over there. That'll be a good change of pace, I think. We'll see you out there. This is a little bit of a crustier skate park, a little older than the last one that I've been skating at. I had a lot of fun skating this little platform area. Like it's just high enough to where you actually have to concentrate on what you're doing, but it's still low enough to where you don't have to put too much effort to get onto it. I really wanted to get that 180 ollie off of it, but I don't think I ended up getting it that day. I actually don't think I've been to this park since this video. I really need to go back and try those tricks. That's always such a cool feeling, going back to something that you just could not get and then just going back and being able to just nail it.
All right, man, I appreciate it. Take it easy.
This was the first time that I ever attempted a rail slide. So with me wanting to try something new that day and this park having a low rail, I finally built up the confidence to try it, and it actually wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. The best advice that I could give somebody that hasn't done a rail slide yet or even tried it is just to find a low rail, roll up to it, and kind of ollie with only your front foot and try to place that on and over the rail. So just roll up to it, get the feel for that, ollie, and then immediately place your back foot on the ground, and then just teach yourself where your front foot is going to go once you commit to that ollie and turning your board sideways. You just really want to try to align your body and your front foot to get the feel for the height and the alignment that you're going to go for whenever you do actually commit to trying that.
Have a good one, man. Later.
I didn't realize you were chill like that. That dude was so sick.
So do that a few times, and then after you feel comfortable with it, the next thing that I did was just to try a really small section at the end of the rail. Just focus on that last 8 to 10 inches of the rail and just try to get your board onto it and try to keep your weight on top of it. And once you get that first fully committed attempt out of the way, it just kind of washes away after that. And it's like, oh, okay, so that's how that feels. And then after that, just keep doing that same motion and just focus on that small section of the rail. And then after you feel comfortable with that, start trying to line yourself back up after you slide out of it. And you'll probably be able to learn it a lot quicker than what you would think. Now, it's going to take a lot of practice to get it consistently, but for starters, it felt pretty good just being able to get that last little section and land it once or twice.
It was actually a really good skate session. I was able to do my own thing in my own space. There wasn't anybody else around. There was like literally one other person there. And then I really didn't plan on doing any rail slides when I was there, but I kind of started thinking, I was like, well, you know, I asked one of the dudes up there, like, hey, what's the best way to start? And they were like, well, it just really depends on what you're comfortable with. Just ride up to it, see what feels right. So then I rolled up to one that was just like a few inches off the ground. And I was like, well, if I can get my balance on that and kind of get the feel for it, then there's less risk of you busting your tailbone if you slide out of it. That was really my main worry. And I thought it was going to be like super shaky whenever you got on the rail, but balance was actually pretty easy. Got the feel for the angle and like how to roll up to it. And then finally just ended up committing to it one time. And then before you know it, I mean, within 10 minutes, I was getting them pretty close, and then I think I landed them within 15 minutes. And like whenever I skated as a kid, like I never tried rails, so that was something completely out of my experience booklet, but now I feel pretty comfortable to try them out, learn some more tricks off of them. Yeah, anyways, that pretty much wraps up today. Not sure what the next objective is, but I'll see y'all next time.
What we've got here is some more pop shove it, 180 ollie, kickflip practice. Again, won't spend too much time on this because you've seen it before, but the biggest thing to take away from this is that even some of these really simple tricks can be really hard to learn sometimes, and they take a lot of practice and a lot of dedication just to fully understand and get down properly. But yeah, on this video, I was still struggling to get the pop shove it specifically. And I was just really frustrated that I couldn't get them consistently by then. And again, I think a lot of what was going into this was the fact that my tail of my board was worn out a lot, and I was just really in a frustrated mindset that I couldn't get the trick. So sometimes it's better just to give it a break, cool down, and just pick it up another day. But I think I did spend several hours on this, and I'm not even sure if I landed a single pop shove it. Alright, so this was the last day of the 2-month section. This video didn't have a vlog intro because I was with my girlfriend's little brother. Alright, Cam, give us a couple tricks. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna get a good angle. Oh! Drop into the bowl, dude. So my ollies were looking a lot smoother. Still working on the consistency of them. And this was actually the first weekend that I was skating with my new deck. Overall, at this point, my ollies felt a lot more comfortable. Even though I wasn't ollieing the cones every time, it still feels a lot better than it used to. I'm still working on the 180 ollies, especially in this video. The main thing I was trying to do was work on the timing, the rotation, and just overall getting a feel for how they are when you're ollieing over something. Yeah, and then I landed wrong a couple times, and just where I hit my wrist, I was ready to move on to something else. And this was actually right before I upgraded my camera that I was using, so the upcoming videos will have a little better quality. So I actually had not tried this rail before, and it's a little higher than the one that was at that last skate park, so it really took me a little bit to get adapted to it. But the biggest thing I had in mind with learning these rail slides is just trying to stay over top of the board, making sure that I'm not pushing it too hard or going too fast into it. I still wanted to keep it at a reasonable pace, that way I'm not getting too far ahead of myself. And you can see there, that's what my custom board ended up looking like. I really like how it turned out, but like I said about the rail slides, it just tore off that vinyl wrap really quick. But overall, I still like the board. And the biggest thing that was scaring me about these was maybe rolling an ankle, just because it's a new motion, new directions. But I think the biggest thing there is just bailing at the right time and just focusing on the directions and the angles that you're placing your ankles to where you don't end up in a bad spot. And I think that's pretty much all I can say about this skate session. So like I did with my last video, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to my future self, and then I'll record a proper outro, and I will see you all next time.
All right, welcome back. If you did sit through the video, I really do appreciate that, because that's something that YouTube looks at when it comes to suggesting videos to that next audience member. Something else that you can do to help out with that is hit that subscribe button and hit the like button over there. That's gonna help suggest my content to more viewers so that I can continue to grow this channel and bring better content for viewers like you. And if you would do that for me, I promise to keep delivering content for you all. And if you don't already know this, I do a lot of music production, DJing. I'll throw out a tutorial or something here and there. And I actually have 2 main channels, which I'll go ahead and link in the description. So if you're interested in all the skateboarding content and just all original content, this is the one to be at. But if you're interested in any DJ mixes or remixes or anything like that, go ahead and head over to that other channel and check that out. You might like what you find there as well. So once again, thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and I will see you all next time.